Hello and welcome to Two Car Pros. Today we're going to bring you a first things to check when your engine will not start video troubleshooting guide. For an engine to run, you must have compression, the proper amount of fuel with the spark at the correct time. Check out this video to get an idea of what happens on the inside of each of the cylinders for the engine to run. The problems that follow are listed in order of popularity and apply to gasoline and diesel burning engines, so let's get started. The first thing we recommend checking is the security system. The security system is built into most vehicles, which disables the ignition or fuel system when activated. Occasionally, the system will simply become confused due to a glitch or procedural error. If the security light is flashing when trying to start the car, the system has been activated. An easy trick to reset the security system is to roll all the windows up, close and lock the doors, then wait 2 minutes. Now that it's been 2 minutes, go ahead and unlock the driver's door with the key in the door. If the light is still flashing, try using the spare key. If the light goes out, it's because the frequency chip located inside the first key could have gone bad. You're going to need to replace this at the dealership. The next most popular thing to why a vehicle won't start is that vital system fuses, one of them, has gone bad. Fuses are used to protect various electrical circuits while supplying power to the components such as a fuel pump, injection, and computer systems from suffering a short circuit and possibly causing an electrical fire. When these fuses blow, the system supports stop working and the engine stops running. When a fuse blows, it does so for one of 3 reasons. There's an electrical surge charging the system, or the battery's been jumped backward. The fuse ages and pops. A short circuit exists because a wire, sensor, amplifier, or computer has shorted to a ground. There are basically 2 methods of checking electrical fuses that protect various components. You can either pull each fuse out and inspect it by hand, which we showed you earlier, or use a test light to check its continuity, like we're showing here. If a blown fuse is found, check the system it belongs to by using the vehicle's owner's manual or identification chart on the fuse panel. Once the system is identified, remove and inspect or replace the failed part and retry the engine. If the fuse still blows, you will need to check the wiring harness for damage or a broken wire and repair it. The next thing to try would be to check the engine's trouble codes. A check engine, service light engine soon, or MIL, is telling you that there's a diagnostic trouble code stored in the car's computer. These codes are designed to give you an idea of the system or sensor that's causing the engine not to start. When these codes are present, it means the computer has detected a failure which, corrected, can fix the trouble. Plug a code reader tool or scanner into the ALDL port, which is located on the driver's side near the bottom of the dash in most cases, and can gather any codes that are present. The next thing to check is the crankshaft angle sensor. It is responsible for sending feedback data to the main computer, which in turn translates into usable information which controls the injector pulse and ignition timing. When the sensor fails, the computer sees the engine is not turning, which in turn will not send pulse signals to either fuel or ignition system. This problem causes the engine to crank over but not to run. The next thing to check is the fuel delivery system. If fuel is not entering the cylinder's combustion chamber, the engine will not run and deliver the individual cylinder power as intended. This could be due to a fuel pump that has failed and it's not supplying fuel pressure, or the injectors themselves are not operating correctly, allowing the proper amount of fuel to be distributed into each cylinder for the piston to ignite. So you're going to need to check each fuel injector and the fuel pump itself. The next thing to test is the ignition system. It is designed to ignite the fuel-air mixture inside of the combustion chamber via the spark plugs. This is done by using an ignition coil, a crankshaft, and camshaft angle sensor along with the car's computer or PCM. This system can stop working due to a failed ignition module or the crankshaft angle sensor, which is very common. So to test an ignition system, it's super easy job. It only takes about 5 minutes and can be done using a test light or an extra spark plug. Connect it a test light to a ground and with one of the spark plug wires or coils disconnected. Crank the engine over while holding the tip of the test light about 1/4 of an inch from the wire or coil terminal. Keep your hands clear of the test area to avoid accidental shock. You can also insert a spark plug into the coil or wire and hold it against the metal ground. You should be able to see a light blue spark in the gap. This is telling you the system is working. If no spark is present, more testing of the system will need to be done. The final thing we would recommend checking is the engine compression. It's not too difficult and it can be done with a spark plug socket and a compression gauge. Remove the ignition or fuel pump fuse and one of the easiest spark plugs to get to perform the test. If the compression readings are normal between 125 psi and 170 psi, the compression is normal. Most of the time, if one of the cylinder has the correct compression, the engine will start and run, but if one or more of the cylinders have low compression, the engine will misfire and have a rough idle, but still run. When the compression is low or non-existent, the engine will crank over freely with little resistance to the starter, a sure sign that the chain or belt is a problem. Thank you so very much for watching. Remember, this is a troubleshooting guide on things to check. On more detailed tests of what you saw earlier, please check the description. If I don't have a video on the specific thing you're looking for, let me know down in the comments, or I will be updating it regularly, so check back often. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.